2000 series stitcher heads and the 1800 series stitcher heads. Stanley Bostitch wants to help you do things right, efficiently, accurately. The accuracy of our stitcher head is as accurate as the operator's attention to detail, the adjustments made, and the quality of the wire used in the stitcher. We recommend using Boz wire for each of your applications. Stanley Bostitch provides the highest quality wire, designed to give superior stitching performance with spool sizes to fit most graphic arts applications. Refer to the wire size charts for your specific application. Preventative maintenance for graphic arts stitcher products is as simple as a regular lubrication routine and a simple procedure of keeping the equipment clean. When lubricating the stitcher, use only SAE number 10 oil. Machines that are in constant operation should be lubricated on a daily basis. The key is to lubricate regularly, not excessively, as the oil may coagulate due to excessive lubrication. Wipe off any excess oil. Let's begin the presentation with threading the Model 7 stitcher. The Bostitch Model 7 book stitcher is a versatile combination light and heavy-duty stitcher designed to staple flat work and saddle work. This stitcher is easily converted between flat and saddle applications by tilting the platform. The Model 7 comes standard with head components capable of handling a variety of round and flat wire sizes and strengths. Changing components to handle round or flat wire is not required, but is recommended for long-term applications using a specific wire type. Never attempt to adjust, thread, or work on any stitcher before disconnecting the power supply, and always wear OSHA-approved safety glasses. Once your stitcher system has been prepared by your Stanley Bostitch Graphic Arts dealer, the machine is ready to be threaded. But first, set the work thickness. Place a sample of the product under the thickness gauge. Rotate the thickness gauge bar tightens against the product. Carefully remove the product from the gauge. To begin the threading process, open the stitcher head door. Place the wire on the spool stud so that the wire feeds to the left. Press the wire through the two sets of wire retainers and through the oiler felt. Press the wire between the two sets of straightening rollers. Place the wire under the wire clip and down into the wire guide. Slide the wire guide retainer over the wire. Pass the wire through the slot in the cutter holder by sliding the wire holder slide to the left. Depress the supporter and close the stitcher head door. Avoid slamming the stitcher head door. Be sure that the guard is in place. Plug the stitcher into the power outlet and switch the unit on. Depress the foot pedal and allow the cutters to clip the excess wire. Now run a staple through a sample of product. If a sample of product receives a perfect staple, you're ready to begin production. However, if the staple is not perfect, it may be necessary to straighten the wire. Disconnect the power supply, assure your safety. Always wear OSHA-approved safety glasses. Open the stitcher head door. Cycle the driver to its lowest position. Observe the placement of the wire as it passes the driver wire guide hole. It should be in a straight vertical position. Check the wire straightener handles at the top of the stitcher. Both handles should be approximately parallel to the floor. To adjust the left to right position of the wire, turn the lower wire straightener eccentric handle. When you make a wire adjustment, the result of that wire adjustment will not be immediately apparent. Depending on the model of stitcher you operate, it's necessary to cycle several staples through the stitcher head. After 5 or 6 staples have been cycled, reevaluate the staple. If it's necessary to review the threading process of the Model 7 stitcher, stop the videotape before continuing. Refer to the manual diagrams if necessary. Run 1 staple through a sample of product. If all adjustments have been set correctly and the staples are formed perfectly, you're ready to proceed with your stitching operation. However, if a staple is irregular, this section of the program addresses the steps you will take to correct the problem. The cause of a staple deficiency can usually be traced to inaccurate settings or normal machine wear. Before making any adjustments, always be sure to disconnect the power supply. Refer to the staple formation diagrams in the operator's manual. Find the formation that corresponds with the staple irregularity and take the proper corrective action. There is a replacement parts kit available through your Stanley Bostitch Graphic Arts dealer, which contains necessary replacement parts. However, the most common parts that are replaced are the swivel, the wire cutters, the clincher points, and the driver. Here are the tools you will need to replace these parts: OSHA-approved safety eyewear, wire cutters, 1/8-inch flathead screwdriver, needle nose pliers, and the driver release pin. Remember, no operation may be performed until the power supply is disconnected. To remove the swivel, release the swivel retainer spring and slide the swivel out. Leave the safety guard in place. When changing the wire cutters, leave the safety guard in place. Utilizing a small screwdriver, lift the wire cutter retainer. Push the top cutter to the left and lift out. Push the bottom cutter out the same direction. Each wire cutter has two cutting edges. When one edge becomes dull, the cutter is turned around and the opposite edge may be used. To replace the wire cutters, this notch must face the back of the stitcher. Insert the cutters one at a time and replace the retainer. To remove the clincher points, remove the clincher slide screw and lower the slide. Lift the clincher points out. In order to replace the driver, first disconnect the power supply. Set the work thickness to 1/2 inch or the maximum thickness height. Remove the protective housing from the back of the stitcher by removing the screw at the top of the housing. Carefully separate the housing with a flathead screwdriver at the side, indicated here. Open the stitcher head door. Release the supporter spring located behind the stitcher head. Depress the clutch release and rotate the flywheel in a counterclockwise direction. When the driver reaches its lowest position, use the driver release pin to slide the driver downward. Carefully grasp the driver and continue to rotate the flywheel until the bender bar returns to its highest position. Each driver has two driving surfaces. If one edge should become chipped, the driver can be turned to its opposite edge. While the bender bar is in its highest position, insert the driver fully into the bender bar until it latches into place. After replacing the driver, reattach the supporter spring and replace the protective housing.